Sorry for the interruption there.
That's okay.
Okay. So back to the firemen and police, and so was your son okay?
Oh yeah, he was fine. It wasn't my house, it was the house kitty corner for my house. Another kid was doing exactly what mine would have done and set his house on fire.
Oh, Sandy. How are you coping? I mean, what methods are you using to cope with the things that are going on?
What methods am I using? I have no methods.
So your level of self-care, taking care of yourself is pretty low right now?
I'm not taking care of myself. I'm surviving. I'm putting one foot in front of the other with a limp, and I'm going. I'm going.
Well, you know, you might not think that you're coping, but I just heard you say that you're surviving. And that, in and of itself, is coping. You are a lot stronger than you give yourself credit for. It takes a strong person to be able to try to support their children through the horrific effects of drug abuse.
I'm surviving until I think I want to kill myself, but, you know, when that happens.
Okay, so things have just taken a little bit of a turn, and I'm now a little bit more concerned for your emotional well-being than I have been in the past. And whenever I hear a client say that they are thinking about hurting themselves, there are some specific questions that I need to ask you. And I'm going to begin that process now. You said that you're thinking about killing yourself. Have you decided how you're going to do that? Do you have a plan in place?
I don't have a plan in place. I don't have anything in place.
So you don't have weapons around your home?
No, I don't have weapons. I don't know what I would do. I've thought about just walking out in the woods and just staying out there and not coming back. Or, I don't know, feels like I could walk off the end of the earth.
So mostly you might be a little bit more frazzled, and this is a metaphorical kind of a thought process, because I'm not hearing that you really want to harm yourself.
I don't really want to harm myself, but it's there. It's in the background. It's in thoughts. It's in, wouldn't it be nice not to have to deal with them today?
Okay. So do you think that between now and the next time we meet that you can promise me that you won't do anything to harm yourself until you at least speak to me?
Oh, I won't do anything until I talk to you.
Okay.
I would talk to you. I'm pretty sure I would reach out before I got to that critical point. I might take myself up to the hospital or something.
Okay. So you have some good coping skills there and kind of know what you need to do, even though you think that you're not necessarily taking care of yourself, you still have some pretty good coping skills going on there.
At this moment in time, I do.
Yeah. It's a day-to-day thing, I know, with addiction, isn't it?
It is. Sometimes it's not even day to day. Sometimes it's hour to hour.
So I feel pretty comfortable about moving back to our previous conversation and help you develop some strategies that might get your son back into treatment, but also to give you some peace of mind and take care of your health. I saw when you came in that you're using your cane again.
Yes.
So is that because you're running on empty, not sleeping, not taking care of your injury?
Well, working too many hours and going up and down steps and working on a concrete floor, having to carry a 40-pound bag, yeah, I'm probably not doing the best I could to take care of myself, but I have to support myself.
I understand that, but one of the reasons why your company hires individuals like myself to provide employee assistance is to help make sure that their employees stay safe and stay well. So I would like you to schedule a meeting, and if you need me to facilitate that with your supervisor, I will. And if you feel more comfortable just meeting with him one-on-one, my suggestion would be to you, you need to let him know that you're not all the way healed yet. You are eligible for FMLA, and I know that you used some of that in the past when you did have your surgery.
Yeah.
And we are more than happy to put you back on modified duty, Sandy. You know, you need to be a valuable team player for as long as we can have you, and we can't do that if you're not able to walk. So could you schedule that meeting, or would you like me to help you with that?
That'd be good if you'd go in and help, because they come up with creative ideas, and in the long run, it doesn't really help me.
Okay.
It's more for them.
Okay, so we'll schedule that meeting, and I will let you know through your
Okay.
supervisor as soon as that meeting is scheduled. And then, you talked to me last time that you hadn't been sleeping, and we briefly touched on maybe you going to the doctor and asking for some
Medication, yeah. And I did,
How'd that work for you?
I sleep for probably 2 hours with the medication.
So perhaps we need to find a different one then, and maybe make another referral back to your doctor for a follow-up. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
it takes several weeks on a new medication, but sometimes you just have to, try several before you find the combination that
Well,
works.
and I'm always afraid too that I won't wake up and be able to function with with the brains that I need to have to do my job and drive to and from work with taking medication to help me sleep, because I'm only going to be able to sleep for 6 hours tops.
Okay. So what I hear you saying is that you think not sleeping is a good idea, and I'd like you to maybe look at it a little bit differently, in that while you think that you're doing yourself and your family good by supporting them, if you end up having an accident because you aren't getting the rest that you need, you're not going to be able to support your family that way. So maybe take a look at, what you really need to do for yourself, and try to put yourself first. I know that a lot of times as a mother that's very difficult to do,
Yeah.
but I'm here to help you with that process.
Thank you.
There are some of the smallest things that we can do to help ourselves, and that can be as simple as taking time for a bubble bath. Do you have a pet?
Yes, I do. I have a little dog. His name is Sparky.
And I see you smiling as soon as you bring that up, so is he one of the highlights of your day? Are you able to
He
spend
is.
time?
Yes, he is. He's always the first one to greet you when you walk in the door. So that's great.
And conditional positive love, those
Yes.
pets give us, right?
Yes. Even if you do have to take him on a walk at 4:30 in the morning.
Well, I imagine you're probably pretty used to that since your work schedule puts you
Yeah.
out at that time. Are there any other activities that you like to do? Do you like to read? Do you like to sew? Do you like to
Oh, I
garden?
like to read. If I read, though, I'm hoping it'll put me to sleep. I tend to read scary murders, but then my eyes are wide awake, because you never know what's out there.
Yeah. Well, maybe a little lighter reading would be in order.
Yeah. You mean boring?
No, but maybe a self-help book.
Yeah.
And a meditation, a biofeedback that'll help you, start concentrating on your breathing and your body movements, and maybe that would be something that would be able to work right there with your medication, help you do some better sleeping.
Maybe.
And what kind of support do you have from your family? Your sister still in the picture? Your
Excuse me. Well, my one sister had surgery today. The other one called to tell me that she was the first one that got to talk to her afterwards.
And she came out okay? Everything went fine there?
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine, otherwise she'd still be in the hospital. So they let her come home right away. So since they let her go home.
Have you explored talking to your family about your son's addiction, or are you still trying to keep that under wraps?
It's not under wraps. It's out there. He's told everybody that he has an addiction, but it's not something that's brought up on a visiting basis, We talk to each other on Facebook. We seldom get on the phone and talk to each other. I might talk to my younger sister on my way to work on my Bluetooth, but it's not quite the same as sitting down to talk to someone.
Exactly. So, your son, is he willing to try again with treatment or outpatient services?
I have no idea. I bring it up, he shoots me down, so I'm thinking it has to be on his terms, or it'll be on the court's terms, and he'll get caught and have to do it.
That might not be such a bad thing.
Yeah,
You know, at least you know he was safe and warm and fed and not using.
yeah.
I did find out about a new support group, and there is Al-Anon. We've talked about that before, but there's also a new one for parents of addicts, and I was wondering if you'd like a referral to maybe check that out. It's a closed meeting, so it's and it's held in the local church, and it's facilitated by a different group member every week, and it is for parents of addicts, because one of the things that I hear you and I see that you feel is shame about your son's addiction, and no matter how many times somebody tells you it's not your fault,
Oh, it's always your
Yeah.
fault, in your
you feel
mind.
like it's your fault.
Yes.
Right, and I understand that, and I think that the support group might give you some valuable guidelines and just a listening ear. You know, your family's kind of far away.
Yes, they are.
That'd be something that you're interested in giving a try?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea.
Right, well, our time is just about over, so before I wrap things up with you, we've talked about taking better care of yourself. We've talked about doing an employee meeting with your boss to get you on some light duty for a little while, and I'll help you facilitate that. We've talked about making sure that you'll call me before you think that you might harm yourself, because I care and I am here. And then I've offered you some suggestions for some self-care that maybe you hadn't thought of before, but I want to make sure that there's nothing else that you want to bring up that I haven't touched on.
No, I think you've pretty much covered everything, and I feel a lot better just getting it out there, just talking to someone.
Yeah, I'm glad you feel that way. And I could schedule an appointment for you on the way out, or you can give me a call, whatever's convenient for you.
Okay, I think I'll schedule it on my way out.
All right, and I will make sure that your supervisor gets a meeting scheduled. And would you like me to be at that meeting or just set it up for you?
I'd like you to be there.
Okay, I'll do that during your lunch hour or your second break, and we'll see what we can do.
Okay,
All right, Sandy, thanks for coming in. It's good to see you.
it's good doing you, Stephanie.